don't think we need that light. I think that light looks terrible. It'll kill. Might turn that off. I don't think we need it, do we? I'll check. Oh, why do I put that table so blooming near? That's better. What do I like? I look like a blooming ghost. Oh, it still look rough. But I don't know if it's any better. I'll sack it, leave it. Oh, get in. Oh, I want the others of these. I do love them. Glitzy Sea palette. Oh, metallics. Just bought these. Loads and loads and loads. Loads. Oh, hey. Get off. Twinkle, 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 twinkle. Got enough brushes here, look. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, it's rubbish. Oh, that's a nice one. Graphite. It's a dagger. Oh, I haven't got the others, however. God, I used that. I didn't swear that. That's disgraceful. Oh, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Look at that. What's happened here? Who wants to come on with me? Hello, Mel. Mel's asked to come on. Dip, 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 dip. Right. Good afternoon. I really need this today. Hello, everybody. Hello, Shaz, Sonia, Wendy, Sue, Elaine, Louise, Debbie, Deb, Julie, Sarah, Fabian. Oh, I love that name. Susan, Linda, Wendy, Linda, Mary, Julie, Susan, Lorena, Jan. Oh, miss one. Susan, Marcia. Hello, Marcia. Stella, Kate, Jane, Judith, Denise, Fleur. Did you enjoy it? Oh, guys, Denise, some of you were scared to death, weren't you? But you did it. Wow. Just whacked me. You totally took me away. Jane, Ruth, Kate, Hilda, Marjorie, Thelma, Sally, Janine or Janie. Thank you. Glynis, Jay, woo-woo. Cassie, Jackie, B, Glynis, Marjorie, Malcolm. Wow, quite a few of you are on today. You must have missed me. Liz, Anne, Bader, Maxine, Rosalind, Nell. Hello, Nell. And okay, well, I don't understand why people want to come on here. It's quite funny, that, isn't it? Well, if I get a chance later. Well, good afternoon. How are you all? I've been doing all the telework, so it's my first day off. So, oh, did you miss me? And then I had a big class on Sunday, and then yesterday I had 2 shows. So I was watching Alice. So I thought what I'd do then is, I can't miss out. I've had loads of people saying that they need the fix, which is quite funny. Hello, Muriel. Hello, Jan. Sandy. Marcia. Oh, said hello, Marcia. Hi, Malcolm. Chris. Leslie. Leanne. Liz, hold up. I need this because I need a bit of chill time. I'm sick of looking at myself in this screen. Can't stand it at the best of times. I just need chill time. I think this is when I most realise that I really need this. Regardless of anything else, I just need some time where I can just chill, relax and create. Whether it's going to be a masterpiece or a unmasterpiece. Don't create masterpieces anyway. But yeah, I've been also on the computer trying to sort of build up my craft world profile, because I don't know why they put me under expert. I'm not too sure about that, but I'm one of the experts now for mixed media, so I want to build up a profile there. So I'm going to be doing my moodling courses on there. So we've got a moodling room, and so if you'd like to go over and join that, I have put a link. You don't have to. If you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, that'd be amazing. Press the ding dong or whatever you want to call it. And can I just clarify, I was born in the 60s. I'm not a swinger. It was the swinging 60s. I made a faux pas, a very big one yesterday. Couldn't think of anything. If you want to do that, wonderful. But I am the least swinging person ever. So, anyway, I've cleared that up. When I said it, I was just like, you know when you want a big hole and you want to... Oh, it's even getting worse, isn't it? You know when you want a big hole in the ground to swallow you up? Well, that's what I was like yesterday. I was like, why did I say that? And then it was, of course, Liz was apparently laughing her head off with Adam. Thank you very much, mate. Love you, and all. But yeah, it was a proper faux pas. And I seriously don't know when I'm doing this. It's just like I have. There's, I get what they call word blind. And I think they made it just for me, that word. And it's just where I can't think of a word, so I just come out with, but my mum calls it verbal diarrhea, so I think my mum's right, actually. Anyway, I was thinking, I really need this. I really need some chill time. I'm getting so many good vibes about it. So many people are saying, oh, great, it's really helping me. I'm chilling out. And I think, personally, although it is hard work for everybody, it's so rewarding that we can't help but want to do it again and again and again. So, I'm just going to turn you down and round. Okay, we've lost a few people, but never mind. I can't be everything to everyone, can I? Right, so hopefully, where are we? Oh, bring you a bit more forward. This is traditional Chinese music, which I absolutely adore. If you don't like it, just turn the sound down. I just like it. It's very chilling. I love anything traditional. I'm trying to find my compass. Oh, where's it gone now? I've tidied up, haven't I? Tidied up after my shows. Yeah, I find it very, very relaxing, because anything traditional we need to keep hold of nowadays, because we've not... You know, we're going to lose these wonderful skills otherwise, aren't we? So, anyway, I've got my pencils, but I'm trying to find, as always, my... somebody says to me, it's a circle maker. I said, but a circle maker's got a proper name, and they never knew it. They never knew that a circle maker, that isn't the proper word. They thought that's the proper word. It's not. It's a compass. Can I find it? Can I flipping heck? Oh, anyway, we'll have to get going. Can't be messing about like this all day. It's on a bright yellow pencil and all. The brightest pencil I could find. Just so I didn't lose it. What have I done? Lost the flaming thing. Oh well, I'll just have to go with odd shapes. Odd shapes. And then when I'm not looking for it, it'll jump out and slap me. Oh, it might be in here. Might be in here. I don't want to open it, just in case something attacks me. Oh. I'm not chancing it, sack it. I'll just get a load of circles. Right, okay. Well, I can see some circles here now, I'll use these. Right, okay. Right, forget all that. I'm starting again. Right. Got a pencil, several. I have got some circle shapes to draw around, or even though I like my compass, never mind. I've got some watercolours. I'm using the ones that are on the link. So anything that on the link, spent hours this morning going through everything that I could possibly use because I get asked so many questions. And I thought this would be prime for just putting them all down. I'm going to be using my paints. I'm going to be using my sparkle pens from Crafter's Companion, my Spectrum Noirs, because they're nice and bright and I've got sparkle. So I'm going to add sparkle and non-sparkle. I'm going to some H2Os. So got a bit of everything. I don't know what I'm thinking of doing, but what I really like is this idea of the rivers and the trees. And I just thought we could sort of do it, you know, because the weather's really poor for people, and it's, although it means that it's going to start growing again, doesn't it? Alexa, level 1. So it means we've got hope for spring and stuff, and I can't help but think about wonderful sort of patterns and growths and, you know, and things growing. So I thought that we could do some like doodle trees on a landscape, just for something a bit different. So obviously they're going to be a bit big, but you could have them in the front, maybe 1 or 2, but I've got some smaller ones there. And what I'm going to do is just set up a sort of landscape, but I'm going to do it as we do. So I'm going to think about the thirds now. My paper, I'm going to do this on purpose, obviously, because I'm doing it. What a stupid thing to say. Right, the golden section is anything at these points works. Anything within a third. So on this line, this line, this line, this line, it's all about sections 3, the golden section. So anything interacting on these points always brings attention. So you can do that with anything. The Fibonacci, everything, it fits into that. So once you know that, you can sort of see about a composition sitting here and have going that way with one there, so you balance. So just to show you that that's how I'm working it out. Now, I had loads and loads of people saying that they loved the what you call it, I did the circle. But I just want to do a picture. It might not be as good as the others, but I don't care. But I want to do a picture because I feel very much that I need to know that spring's on the way. So right, okay, so to me, it's got to be wiggly line there, wiggly line, and then, a wiggly line coming like that. Okay, so, and then, now, one of the nice things is when you're looking at spring and all those things, you've got patterns and fields, haven't you? So I thought we could just bring in some patterns. So we've got these wiggly wobbly lines. Now this isn't fixed in stone. Now I'm going to use, see, I think they need to be a little bit bigger than that. So I'm thinking that's too big. No, we'll try it. If it's too big, it's too big. No, that's fine. Right, here, oh hey, and a bit. Right, don't like that one. Right, so what I'm doing is, let me just explain what I'm doing. I'm doing a background, I'm doing a tree, and a flower or a bush, whatever. I think that might be a little bit too small there, because I've got all this missing, and so what I'm going to do is just take that away. I'm going to take that away. So this is how I do my compositions. I've got the 3 lines there, which are not set in stone, but I've got that, and you can sort of make them a bit, they're a bit contrived like that. It doesn't matter. But here I think we need the, what I was saying about the third. So I'm crossing onto the top third section. That's better. Miles better. And then behind it, I'll have another one popping out there. And then a smaller one in front, much better. So I've got the 3. Now, if I had my compass, I'd be laughing, but I ain't got it, so it doesn't matter. So, I've got these. Now, I like the idea. Right? Now, you could do a wiggly line like that. I might change that a little bit and just make it smaller, you see, so it's... But I just want it to be quite... I think the word's sort of stylised. So you could have it going like that, which I quite like. That, which I quite like. Because it looks like planets as well, doesn't it? And then I'm going to make that a bit bigger and have that coming like that. Like it's off there. Could have another one here. Right, okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Secura, and I'm using a 3, not a big one, a 3. So what I'm going to do is just go in with this circle. Once I set this in stone, by drawing, I'm laughing. Now I shouldn't have done that, but never mind. I've gone over my own rule here. And the first rule is, you know, always stop there, because you never know, you might not want to show that. So there, I've not gone in, I've just done that. I like this. I like the idea, right, of having something very stylised but natural. I like the idea of it being sort of, you can see what it is, but it's not hugely obvious. It's sort of stylised, and by that is you've got an idea what it is. Like, it could be planets to some people, other people it might look like a load of a mess. That's fine, but oh hey, I need a good rubber. This is good, but it's just annoying me. Right, so you can see now I've got the stylised trees, haven't I? One of my favourites is 1920s Clarice Cliff. All those patterns, I love them. And I've got a couple of pieces myself. I've got a bazaar, and this is shape really inspires me. And this is going to be, I'm not going to say anything else. Shut up with this. This is a piece that I really adore, and it's this idea of this pattern, this shape. Can you see? It's wonderful. So I'm going to be using this as well. So I get a lot of influence and a lot of direction from. Now, if you go onto her channel, you'll see Jana Burnett Bleach. She is exactly the same in that she draws all her inspiration from nature, from different exhibitions and galleries, and it's just really interesting because you're bringing your own slant on it. Right, I'm going to draw here a wibbly line, and then as they get smaller like this, they're not getting as wibbly, but remember to finish them. Don't have them just stuck there. So, and remember that they come this way as well, that way as well. You know, they don't just go one way. And then what I thought, we could have this big one here. I also like Chinese, Oriental, Japanese art. It's just stunning. You know, we could do like Hokusai's one of my, you know, one of the block printers. Dave, what's his name? Dave Blunt, is it? No, yeah. And he's a printer, and he's stunning work. So anyway, so yeah, go on. Once you go onto YouTube, in fact, do you know, someone even asked me whether I'd do a class on it, a class on inspiration. Do you know what I'd love to do? I know this is going to sound stupid, but because I'm a qualified teacher, and if I got accredited, we could all, because somebody said, do you get a certificate out of this? And I thought, well, you could do, because I'm teaching you what I would teach an art student. It'd be great if we could do an art, you know, you could get a GCSE. Right, so I'm just going to bring that in there. Looks a bit stumped there, but don't forget this is pattern, isn't it? Now, what I do want to do is show you about foreshortening, and what that means is we have, if you put a point there, anywhere, this will be what we call your point, your viewpoint, right? This is your line. So that's your horizon, and that's your focal point. So that's where we're looking. So if I draw lines coming out like that, and I'm stood here, right? Can you see how to make that look three-dimensional and sort of, how can I put it, far away? It gives you the idea of distance. You could even change it slightly so that it looks like hills, but it gets bigger towards you. So it's the same if you do it this way. It goes. So the fields, look. Now in one of my sketchbooks, I'll show you that. I've done that, but I've done it in beads. So the beads are all done like that as a little fence. And it looks really cool. I'll have to get my sketchbooks out. So what I thought is we could try it a bit here. So I'm going to put my focal point as there. I'm going to put a big cross. You can put it anywhere. And we're going to try the pattern in it. Okay? Now you can go. But I also think that makes a prime sun. Not put it in yet, but do you get me? So there's one. So we could have the focal point here. So we're going a different direction. So now I'm just going to follow that. And they're getting nearer and nearer together. You get me? So now we've got a focal point. Right, is anybody confused with that? Or are you alright? So if I draw it in now, it'll show you. So I've got my dot, and it's going under the hill there. So I'm just going to draw it out. Now don't be too neat, don't be too heavy-handed with it. But just remember to come from the same point. Now there's more to it than this, but this is just like, without being rude, it's just like a tiny, like one of them books that you can get, a guide to art, or a guide to anything where, but they call it a different name. But so I'm following the lines to make it 3D, but at the same time you're learning about foreshortening. Right, does that make sense to you? So it's looking, but don't forget it's all about pattern. It's stylized. It's not supposed to look like sort of perfect fields, but you get the idea. Now this one, I think rather than try and do it that way, I'm just going to do some rather big ones there, because you'd see quite a lot. I think I quite like them like that. I'm not going to put in those lines yet. So let's rub out the lines that I don't need. We had a great time. I know some people were a little bit, oh my goodness me, I've crammed in, you know, nearly a year's worth of art, colour theory. But I had a wonderful message today saying that they went out and they were looking and they found themselves looking at colour in a different way. You don't know how much that means to me, because I've done my job then. I can't believe, you know, that's amazing to me. Amazing. So thank you for that. Right, okay, so we've got this pattern. Now we can do several sorts of patterns. We can do an array of patterns, which I quite like, which is just sort of, I'll show you here, giving you all my tips and tricks here. Right, so it's like, it's a, you know when you get what they called a rubber plant. So you can have a stylized tree like that, okay? You can have a stylized tree where it's just circles coming round. You can have a stylized tree where it's split in half. Or you can just go. So it's like a weeping willow, which has got that lovely action like that. So there's lots of patterns you can put in it. I'm not too happy with that one because I think it's a bit... But if you look at a tree and how they grow, you might even want to put lines on it like that, and then have these coming out of there. I think I quite like that better, because that looks like a person to me now as well, and I like that idea of it. looking like a person. You see like an art, like their arms up, and I always think nature is like that. It's very well, it is organic, Mother Nature, isn't it? So I like that. You don't have to do it. You do not have to do any of this. You do your own thing. And what I might do is leave those 2 trees till I've done this. But I do like the sun there, because you're looking for something, aren't you? But I think what I did there was a bit too big. So what I might do is just that's better. And of course, if you wish, so pencil, we're sort of echoing the lines. This is going to be, up to now, I think I really love this because it's got a lot of meaning for me. Because when I'm feeling a bit down like I am today, and you all know, I suffer with depression and anxiety and stuff. My depression is worse than my anxiety, I must say. But when I get down, I have to think about things that make me feel better, and this is one of them. So feeling, looking at the idea of spring coming, just gives me such a nice sort of thing to look forward to. So I'm just giving wobbly lines to all of them, because that way, if you've made a right pig's ear, it don't look so bad. Quite like that. If you don't like that, and you've done it, don't worry, just get a piece of paper and stick them on. You can make them all 3D as well. So there, I've put the lines in for that, if you wish. But now we think about the pattern. So I've done one here, but it'd be like little hillocks. So you could just like drop patterns in like this. So follow the lines. Don't forget, oh, don't like that one, so we'll have to make that into the pattern. So I've got that there. This is like the groundwork. Now, if I was to show you, it's something as simple as hatching to make something look square, flat, round, whatever. Not round, because you need curved lines to make a curved object. But if I wanted to do a box, I've done it now, haven't I? So if I wanted a rock, all the shards of the rock face, just use lines, I could do it. So even with little lines like that, you can create without drawing the main body of it. Now I really like that. I really like this, and I think I know what I'm putting in there. I think I know. I don't always know what I'm going to do. I have an idea. People just think I wing it all the time. I don't know where they've got that rubbish from. I'm going to do a circle, because to me it's like the circle of life. There we go. I really like that. You don't do it if you don't want to. And you can have this coming here if you want and sort of bending over. It just looks like a person, and we could do all of them the same if we wish. We don't have to. So this one is... Now, I am pretty certain there's loads of these everywhere. I'm not saying I'm the first one to do this. I'm just saying I'm happen to do it now. And if it is resembling anybody, then, it's out of pure coincidence. Right, so I've got like a sheep dropping. But it does look like one, doesn't it? Until I put pattern on, it looks a bit rude. It looks like a turd. No, I shouldn't have said that. I didn't say it. Take it back. So here, we've got this like wibbly wobbly, and we can have some quite spiky ones here. So it resembles the field. So what we could do is have it like that, and then have these coming across. I think I'll find that pattern in a minute. It's not coming to me at the moment. So anyway, I'm liking that. How are we liking it? Give us a thumbs up, please. Give us a thumbs up. Can I have... Oh, who's this here? Oh. Did you... Are you enjoying this? Give us a thumbs up. Oh, yeah. Oh, getting plenty of thumbs up, but not a lot of hearts. Oh, hey, that's a bit sad. Oh, got a heart then. Got a heart. Right, okay. Now, I'm going to use my watercolours. I'm going to use my pens. I'm going to use everything. Everything that I've got here, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Absolutely, it's got to be done. Because the brighter, the better. Colour comes later. Better see if I can wash that. Right, so I've got to get this in. And do you remember when I was... Oh, no, I can't say that, can I? If you was on my colour course, you'd understand now. The way to get impact is... And I hope someone's going to say... but I'm going to get a warm yellow here. And it is a very warm yellow. I'm going to wash this out with my brush because it's quite strong, that. Bring the water to the edge. Clean water. And let this blend out. Don't worry about it yet. Don't put it too... You want to leave a little bit of light there. Get your watercolour paper. No, get your paper towel. Just mop it up for now because you want that as a start. Okay? So there's our start. We've got a focal point. We've got a little... Let's see. Can I work that back? Oh, I might be able to work it back. So now I've got a little bit of orange. Can I drop a little bit of orange in? Now, bear in mind that some oranges are dull and some oranges are bright. So when we were doing our little colour charts yesterday, this will make total sense to you now. So now I'm going to go drop in with a little bit of cadmium, which is an orangey red. At the bottom, I'm not liking that line, but we all know what to do with that. And then just, this is that wobbly brush I showed you at the beginning, a bit of water on it, it's come right, look. We always used to do it in our mouth, but it's not a good idea now. You know, make it nice and pointed in your mouth. So I've got this. Now I'm going to be, you don't have to use blues, you don't have to use greens, you don't have to use anything. I'm going to make my trees pop with colour. I'm going to use my sparkle pens for this one. Oh wait, where's that now? If I put my hand in here and I get purple everywhere. Oh, I've just done that on purpose. Right, purple is a really difficult colour, so be sparing with purple. So I might put a little bit of purple down here because the purple, you can go over your wibbly lines. It blends out really well. So I'm just going to get that, put that down a little bit. Now, if you find that it's blended, but not as much as you want, well, we all know what to do now. We get a little bit on the brush and blend it out. Now I'm using the sparkle pens. I'm using some watercolours on top because they work really well, and then I can just take it off my pen and bring that in, so I'll get a really nice blend. So I'm working dark to light. Blending in. Wet into wet. Leaving it there. So I've got some depth at the front now. So with it being perspective driven, I'm going to need to do light to dark. So the next one, perhaps we can put here just a little bit of this, but with a little bit of pink. Oh, drop pink off. Ugh. So I'm going to add a little bit of pink to it. Wet it down with my pink first. Now this isn't watercolour paper, but it does work like watercolour paper. So what I'm going to do is put my pink sparkle down first. Remember where it goes. We're just putting the colour down now. Now it's because it's wet, I can go back in with my brush and blend it better. And because they're both sparkly, oh, there, that's better. You can see how much it blends now. Whereas before, you sort of, you know, it's sucked into the paper straight away, and it gives you the wrong impression about how you can blend with them. You can get some really good effects with these. But when it dries, it's just the sparkle is beautiful, beautiful. It's not too over the top either. Now what I'm going to do is I've left it quite dark at the top so that it looks like it's coming down. But I'm just going to put a little bit round here because I've got purple with purple and it's not a perfect sort of thing to do. But as long as it's lighter and not darker. So I'm happy with that. I've got pink here as well, which it's got to be done, pink and orange. So I've got this. I'm going to do some orangey brown here, and that's because that will match with the colour. No, I think we might need a bit of gold in this. That's better. Nice and bright. I might just put that over there to give it a little bit more contrast, because we're going to put patterns in it, aren't we? So nice and bright. If you've got metallics, great. I'm limited to what I've got, so I could put a bit of yellow in it if I want, but I'm going to put a bit of yellow and orange here, just to blend it down. And don't forget, all we're doing is exactly what we do every day, but this time we've got a focal sort of image and point. If you want to blend some of it in, now's the time to try. That's nice, that. It's a nice blend. Right, okay. Oh, I've got everything out today. I've got no living room. I've got no house, no living room. It's all gone crafted. Right, so now what I'm going to look at is I'm going to put some colours in here. So I'm going to do some, I think I'll do some tealy colours. So just going to do a line there, a dark line. Now don't forget all these wobbly lines, you draw them in later, and then blend that down. And that's from the Bright and Bold by Marlene. The next one I'm going to do a bright teal. Now this teal, as far as I know, could be wrong, is the only teal I know from, it's a bit too similar that at the moment. I might just change that, wash that up, because that's quite similar. I'll have to put it somewhere else. But this teal is the only teal that I know, this colour. A lot of them look a little bit teal, but they're not actually teal. So I think what I might do is just extend that down. And then I'm going to put in some lime. And because these are both green, they'll go together. And it'll go. It's now a split complementary. Anyway, so we've got some bright colours. We're sort of tending to stick to not natural colours, but the idea that it would be darker and they would be sort of greenish, and the foreground would look shaded and grey and purple. So although they're not the true colours, we're actually trying to keep them in the same sort of hue or, shade. Right, so just going to put a little bit in there just to, and then come back in with a little bit more of that to really blend it in. As always, once it's wet, you've got a much better blending surface then, because there's more water there allowing it. So I've got that, I like that. I'm going to think about colours for my trees now, and I don't care about what should be this colour or that colour or this colour or that colour. And I quite like the idea of having a checker. So I'm using a mid-green. Now the other colour that goes with green is red. But you don't have to use red. You don't have to use any colour. So I'm just building it up. I've got a mid-green and I'm doing alternate ones. You can keep... Oh, wait, what's happened? Oh, it's there. There it is. I better shut up because if I don't, I'll get all this wrong. But it doesn't matter because you won't see it because you're putting pattern on it. But this is a nice little technique for watercolour as well. So you can add another colour in the space if you wish, or you can leave it white. It's entirely up to you, and then just fill it with pattern. I just made one up there, but never mind. And then I'm just going to drop in. Now it'd be very light at the back, very light, because it's almost a shadow. So if you've got a neon colour, then perhaps it would be perhaps a neon colour. I'm going to put in a tiny bit of blue just to make it a blue-green. So it's a bit more of a shadow. That's it, that's better. Makes a distinct image between those two. So we've got our sort of patchy. Now what you can do, if you wish, is get a little bit of the green and just do one side. Oh, this brush is a little bit big, and then just blend that, let that blend out. And you get a wonderful sort of shading happening, a natural shading. It just makes it a little bit different from just one colour. Just add it where you want, blend it out. That's better. I knew there was something wrong. You could even just lightly go over. So you've got a real sense of watercolour. So it's checkered but green. Get me? Oh, I like that. Right, here we need something that's going to be bold. We need to bring it forward. So first of all, I'm going to set down a little bit of, it's got to be done, pink. The only reason I've set that down is so that I can do this. Yes! Now because I've wet the surface, you know, the pen is a lot stronger than this normally, but I've wet the surface, so oh, I love this colour. And I probably won't get as many people doing this as normal because the others are all like just shapes. But if you forget about it and think about it doing that way, this is still shapes. You know, this is still exactly the same, just shapes that way, or even that way, we've done shapes. So if you don't think about it as a landscape, you don't get as bogged down with it and you don't worry about it. It's when you think, oh, that doesn't look like a tree. Well, it's not supposed to, is it really? It's stylised. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of blue on here, but this is a phthalo blue, which that means it's more like a greeny blue. So I want it quite washed out in the background, so it would be naturally more washed out in the background. Then a little bit of green to change it. And as I'm doing it, I'm taking that out because you want the light to come forward. Like it comes that way, graded that way because of the light. It'd always be darker in front of you. I've got a bit of a line happening here, so just going to get that, then get my pen straight on it and then just wash the colour in, or I can use my pen and the watercolour. You can put it onto the surface as well, but just do that, then it gives that a bit more impact. You can put it onto a slick surface, like a non-porous surface, and just build up the colour that way. Okay, oh, I really like that. How are we doing, guys? We all right? Okay. Right, now I'm going to put in this colour and this colour here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 to get me. So I'm going to start with the gold as a base. Now don't worry, I'm doing all of it, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be doodling in it. So, you know, don't be like, in fact that works better like that anyway, doesn't it? Right, now, just think of it as a colour. It's not anything special, it's just a colour. And then I'm going to drop in with a little tiny bit of brown, darker brown, and just put the darker brown there. Now, you don't have to do this because no one's saying about shading. I'm just showing people if they want to do it, they can put a little bit of shading in one side and it allows it to look a little bit more 3D. It's up to you. You don't have to do it. So, got that. Now I need to, here, drop in a bit of light. So that's got to be a warm yellow. Now I might need to do this once it's dry because it's still wet. Okay, so we've got like all these colours here. We've got pinks, purples, greens. We haven't got much blue, so I'm going to do that teal. Oh, it's gone green. It goes green very, very easily, and I just had it on my brush onto yellow. So I think we'll have big teal tree, and I'm just going to do it really quite heavy. Okay, so being a bit hit and miss with it, but I don't mind because this is a start. I want to keep this quite light. I don't want it to be too heavy, so I'll just go in with my tissue now to. Okay, and the next one we could have, it'll be, just want to put in a little bit of, and I'll do it in the lines there. Looks a bit odd, I know, but that's it. So I'm just bringing in a little bit of dark now just to give it a... Perfect. So here we'll look at the other colours we've got. We've got purple again, haven't we? So we need to bring in something purple, but maybe not as purple. Maybe try another pink. And we don't want it too pink to go with that. So what about some twinkling stuff? It's got to be done on it. It's got to be done. And I've got a really nice twinkly purple and a twinkly pink. Now, I don't know where I got these from, so don't ask because I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. So, it's no good asking me. I've tried to be as sort of, put as many colours as possible on. So, right, I quite like this one because it's duller. I can build it up. No, don't like it. It's too dull. I need something brighter. So, I don't even know if some of these will work. Let's try this one. This one might be too pink near that other pink, but it doesn't matter. No, don't like that. So these aren't the right ones. You'll get this. Some of your paints aren't the right paints for it. Some paints work really nicely. Some paints are like, oh no, that's not the right colour. Oh, I've got this one by Marlene. Let's see. That's the one. That's it. That's the one. It's got a bit of pearl in it as well. Because teal next to purple is a hit. I'm going to bring colour in with my pens and stuff, so all this will be coming. Oh, all this will be coming a lot clearer at the end. Bit hit and miss at the moment. So this doesn't have to be a landscape. This could be lines and circles and, you know, anything you want. It's just the idea of forgetting that a tree looks like a tree or you want it to look like a tree and just make the shape that resembles what you like in trees. So you've got a little bit of purple in there and I love that. So here we're going to put in, we've got lines, we've got greens. We haven't really got any red, but the problem with the red is you've got to know whether you want a cool or a warm red. So a warm red is, that's a cool one. I'll try this one. This is a cool one as well. No, you see that's too similar to that. So what I need is something that's going to totally contrast with that. So I think a lilac. I've got a lilac now and this is in the Marlene. Yeah, that's it. So I'm keeping within that range. Analogous or analogous, whichever you want to say, tomato. So this has got like that feel. It's got that family feel. It's on one side of the wheel. And then the pattern will fit on top. Right, you need to let that dry. If you want to, you could do the sky, but I personally think that might be a bit much. So what I'm going to do is just put a wash on. And I'm going to use a purple, because I've got purple at the bottom. So I've got purple here, but it won't be that dark. So all I'm going to do is get that on there. Both purples, warm and cool. Oh, come on. And I'm going to make a wash out of them. So I'm going to get my big brush, if I can find it. She says. I'll try this one. This one might work. If not, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to make a wash mixing the two. And I'm just going to put the wash at the top first. Then I'm going to wet that down. Because I don't want it dark near the sun. So we get a nice pink sky, but it's not interfering with the other colours because it's too purpley there. That's better. So you can just keep layering it up near the top, blending it out, layering it up, blending it out. And you get that lovely haze. Okay, so I'm happy with that. You've got to give that a blast. Let's see what it looks like in the camera. Oh, it looks pretty nice, that, doesn't it? It looks all right. It's all right, yeah. Not bad, not bad. I heard the bird singing and my thoughts bring his clothes. Yeah. Right, so. Okay, so it looks what it is, which is a very shady watercolour. So now we're going to sit and pattern. Now, this is the bit. That's the bit that you have to focus on. I'm only tidying up because I need a bit of space. I've got to dry. Now, it's important that you dry your stuff, because if you don't, your pens will die. So, what I tend to do, give it a minute. Shouldn't have put that on it. And while I'm doing that, I just put my paints away. I always remember my mum used to say to me, why do you treat your artwork, all your stuff so nicely, and yet you throw your clothes on the floor? And I didn't have an answer for her. She tried to teach me a lesson one day. It was the worst lesson of my life. I had my best, because I was into dancing, so I used to do all the jiving and all the jitterbugging and stuff. And so I left all these like vintage pieces on the floor. So she said, I'm throwing them out if you don't pick them up. So I was like, yeah, whatever. So she went, she put me in the bin, you know, to get them out. And before she got them out, the bin men came. So all my best clothes went in the bin. I tell you what, oh, I didn't speak to her. But it didn't last long, because I can't not speak to me, man. You've got to speak to your mum. So yeah, but all my clothes, and with them being vintage, well, it weren't vintage then, it was second hand. Didn't say your clothes were vintage, they were second hand. I couldn't get any more, so I was a bit gutted. Right, just drying this off. Remember, on the back, push the water through to the front. This was a nice dining table. It's one of them that wicks out. I tell you what, we've had it 15 years, but it's getting more and more paint on it. Right, sorry, it's a bit boring, and we could all go for a quick cup of coffee if you want. Alexa, what time is it, please? Whoa, I'm getting good at this. Right, so get my pens out. Got my white pen, my silver and gold. I'm going to do my drawing pens, and I use my Secura pens, my rude food or rude pen, my thingy pens, what are they called? Jelly roll, writing pens. I use my Posca pens. I use this pen, that pen, everything I can find. Let me get them, grab these. Right, okay, so just to show you, I've got a right section. I use pencils, I use everything later. So this is just to start now. It should be dry enough. Now, that's blue, which will be quite interesting. Now, for those people who don't know, on the top of this you get a number, and the number denotes what size the nib is. The smaller the number, the smaller the nib. But what it means is you can get more detail in a spot, whereas some they're that big, the nibs, you don't get much detail in. So I'm going to go for bigger nearer, smaller further away. So I'm just going to put in a wiggly line, and I'm just going to draw some little lines like that. Now what this does is just bring pattern into it. I'm not going to do too much pattern today because I'm finding that I'm going a bit crazy with pattern. So I want this a little bit darker, so I'm going to cross hatch. And that's what cross hatching is. One way and then crossing over it. So you see you get a nice little bit of depth. So what I am going to do is just zigzag, zigzag there. Right, miss one. So on the start of each, it's going to look like stitching. So it's just a zigzag. And the smaller it is, the further away it'll look. Like that. Okay, so we've got a nice zigzag. What we can do then is put a stitch on the other side. Differing lengths of stitch. You could use your thingy pens, anything you want to do this. Right, that looks quite nice like that, doesn't it? So I'm just going to put this into a pattern now here, because I quite like the idea of just putting the little bubbles on it. Actually looks like trees, doesn't it? Well, I think so. Yep, so we do another one there. Doing it again, doing them in three, so we've got that natural balance. Quite like that. Brilliant. I better change them, they might look like gravestones. Right, okay, here I've got a black line there. I've got another one. And don't ever be worried about drawing more lines, because you're gonna go back in with your pen anyway. So I'm just going to do some patterning in this. Not all of it, because then I'm going to change it up. I'm going to get a gold pen, which I've run out of again, and I'm just going to do some lines. I think what I'll do is I'll keep big patterns for big spaces, because I think sometimes it can overpower it. So what I might do is a wiggly line now, and then do just little bits of black in this. So you've got a differing of patterns there. So I'm just going to put, quite like that, I would put in now, come please, come on. It wants to work, look, it wants to. It's giving it its all. Not. Right, I've got another one here. Let's see if it's this one. So I'm just doing little dots, just on the top of him. Not all over. I don't want them all over because otherwise it sort of takes it away from what I want it to do. And then I'm just going to put here like that, just to give it like a little bit of a, see, dottiness. I might put something in here yet. So I've got the white, the black. So these are all things that you can put in. So now I'm just going to put in some white dots here, like this, and then I'm just going to draw like that. There we go. I'm not doing them all, just doing a few. Going round them now in a black. I'm doing a wiggle wiggle over the white just to give it a bit more pattern, and then going all the way down to the bottom. In fact, I'm going to do that all over because I really like that. It's only supposed to be a little bit, but sometimes you'll get a pattern that really works and you're like, ooh, ooh. Like inventing your own patterns, isn't it? So we need a line. And with this sinking in, and it will sink in, it's natural to do that into the ink below. Don't worry, it will do that. And that's part of it. And this then links in with the scribbly lines you've got up there. But you've got a nice little bit of sort of highlight there as well. So you're seeing it throughout there. Just going to do now a thicker line here. So rather than it's going to be a very thin, thicker line that's coming onto the orange more. I'll show you why. Because that just brings that pattern in there, doesn't it? And we made that codswallop there. So now what we can do is, we've got some here. Let's think about all the patterns we've done before. Now that's going to take some time to do, isn't it? So let's think. We've got I'll just do these here so that it looks like it's a different sort of field or fence if you wanted, and then a circle in the middle. There we go. So I like that. It's not the same as that, but it is similar. We've got the little dots there. Here. Right, this one here is again the little patterns in different colours. So invent them pattern wise. So I'm going to do the next one here, which goes all the way that. Just going to fill in the tree. Doesn't matter if you go over. It's not set in stone. Oh, loving this. I feel so much better now. It's really lighting my mood. A bit cold. I might put a cardi on though. Some thick socks on. But yeah, I'm really lightening my mood now, and it's making me think, oh, spring, and then summer, and then, you know, lighter moods, brighter mornings earlier. Because you don't want to get out of bed, do you? Well, you know, when it's cold and dark, you sort of... And I'll be honest with you, currently it's quite hard at the moment. Don't know how it is for you lot, but I'm finding it quite difficult at the moment because the less I go out, the easier it is to not go out at all. Right, I'm just going in between the sections now, just with little lines, because I don't want to... If I black it all out with, you know, colour it all in, what'll happen is it'll look too heavy. So just by using hatching, I'm darkening it or blacking out areas of it or blanking out or whatever you want, or putting bold colour on it, and then the other areas are, you know, they're not as intense. You can still see them. I don't want that to be focal point too much. I want it to be all three. So, and this is another name for this, is like knocking it back. So okay, now I'm just going to put in here the bigger ones, another circle. I know you can see ones underneath, but I like that because it's creating interest. Right, okay. So, we've got that. I'm going to go in with a silver because it's on a cool colour. So I am just going to go with a line. Around. If it hasn't got a line around it, I'm just putting a dot there. Sort of brings it alive now, doesn't it? That's why when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm giving up," and just like, yeah, you'll never get anywhere if you just give up. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep going and think, right, okay, what happens if I... That's how you discover, you know. I always say that doodling like this is a bit like, yeah, okay, we all have to learn to walk. Well, stand up, then walk, and then run. But it doesn't mean we're all going to run like Mo Farah, does it? So, you know, you've got to sort of... You work with what you've got, and then make the most of what you've got, not give up. It's quite soul destroying if that's what you do, because it's really difficult. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're supposed to enjoy this. So that's why I don't want you to sort of take too much preciousness with it, or whatever you want to call it. So I've got circles here. So I'm quite liking the idea of bringing the shapes we've got here. So I'm going to look in my book, actually. Where's my book gone? I'm going to look in my book for a shape, my sketchbook, and see if I can find one that'll work. I mean, it might just be a simple leaf shape, it might be something, but it's just... Oh, I know. Right, so if we have... Right, I was thinking, what about... Where's my other pen gone? Wait, right, what about... Oh. So it's a bit like... That's a bit rubbish, that, but never mind. Oh, that's nice. So it's a bit like... sort of swirl, and again I'm just going to take very fine hatching, very fine. And I'll do this in a yellow because it's purple. Now you can do whatever you want. You might not want to do this, and that's absolutely fine. I've got a bit of purple here, I might just do that. Lovely. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So it's sort of there, but not overpowering it. You can do then, if you wish. Now, if you've got your Nouveau drops or your stickles, anything like that, pearl drops, whatever you've got, you can now add them to it. And that look really cool because it's 3D then, isn't it? So I just put 3 there and you won't know what that looks like. An octopus now. And then this one has got because I wanted to make the most of this. So that's got quite a pattern on the inside there, which is like leaf one. And then I'm going to do a little pattern, which is a triangle, which is this sort of shape here, and then 3 dots, triangle, okay. So we've got that. We're going to build up that one there because it looks a bit rough on its own. So next, let's go around it with, is that the one? Where is that gold one gone? I had a gold one. There it is. So let's go around it with this. I'm sticking to this one design. I know it's a bit boring, but it's because it's familiar and it sort of works all the way through then. The trees have all got these circle things in. There's lots of lines and, you know, I mean, I might put a little dot in each of these just to sort of compensate the dots. That looks quite nice now. And a lot of them you won't see until you sort of move the work anyway. It moves the light with it, so then you see it. So you see, that's coming up quite nicely now. So what I will do is some yeah, quite like that. I'm not going to do them all over because I'm going to do another pattern in between. So I've just got some squares now on that line. I'm only going to do 3 lots and then fill it with pattern on the other side. So I've got 3 squares there. I might have another. No, there. Right, so now I'm looking at a pattern. That encompassing. Oh, it's a bit wet there. So now right, okay, so I've got it there, and then I'm just going to go, I might fill that in with gold. Quite like that. I think it needs a little bit more work on that. It needs more pattern in it, if you get me. Because at the moment it looks a bit rubbish. So, but I will do it. But what I mean by that is once I've got that there, these pens are good. I've only got a couple. I'm going to have to buy some more. I'm not telling you what they are in case they all sell out. Right, see how it's patterning, working now. Now, with the trunks, this is important. You don't have to do it, but it's a little trick. And it's just like you do your wobbly lines, yeah? All over. and then very fine. You do them all wherever you want, and then you sort of followed around. So I'm going round that knot, around. So when it comes to that, so I've got that pattern there, and I'm going to do a bigger one here so it's less as obvious. There we go. So we put some lines in there. We might put some lines in here just to put some scribbles, and then we could do the not too sure if I like that one, but I'll get some pencil stuff on it and shade it all out in a minute. So what you do then is get all your patterns done, because it's getting late now. All your patterns done, and then really start with finishing it off. So, you know, your idea is get your Poscas out and then just do your, oh, that needs shaking. Do your colours, do your shapes, do any patterns you think that are going to complement it. And then you're going to chill doing it, because that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be sort of rushing to finish anything. It should be you just really enjoying it. Pretend you're on the phone, and then you'll sort of think, oh, right. And then you'll see, like when you like somebody, you do nicer pictures, and when you don't like whoever's on the phone. Right, so I've got some little white lines there. All I'm going to do here, which I think it needs, is I'm just going to start and just put 3 dots. Make them a little bit bigger. And then like, you can do 5s if you wish. So you've got a nice pattern happening there. You wouldn't really see them here, but you can put them in. So you've got some nice patterns happening there. This needs working on. The sun needs working on, but that's entirely up to you how you do that. And then, yeah, I think if I was to do that, I'd just do a couple of lines on this, just to give it a bit of direction, colour, form. There we go. So, if you can just see, you know, and then get carried away. You put your gold on round the top. This is what happens, you see. You get lost in it, and that's the good bit, because that's what you want to do. And then if you do some lines in the gold, it sort of highlights it a bit better. Oh, I like put a bit of gold in here as well. And if you've got your Secura jelly roll, you've got all those, get them out, get them out. Get them on this. And that's my favourite tree up to now. I'm really liking that. So I've got to make that one these as good as that one. But I really like that one. So I'm just going to put gold highlight to the edge. Putting a gold highlight here so that it actually looks There we go, that's much better. And then I think we can do some zigzag lines. Just to give it a little bit more movement there. So, yeah, you can do really just simple lines like that if you wish. And you can even smooth them in so you don't get as much pattern. But I do think that this needs a lot of work. But I'd be quite happy to do it now because I think it's... I'm at that point where I want to doodle. So I am going to go to my room if anyone's interested. What you do is you go to the group Junk Journals, create a room in there, and you can come in and have a chat with us. Be nice. We can all speak to each other because it's nice to see each other, isn't it? Right, I'm going to turn you down and round. Oh, goodness me, we've still got quite a few. That's really good. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Come on. Turn round. There we go. Oh. Look at this date of me. I told you my hair's having a week, a month, maybe a year off. Right, so anyway, I know look the lights on, so it's a bit bright. But yeah, we're sort of getting there. I know this is a picture one, but if you think back about what we've done a lot of different ones, haven't we? We've done all these... Oh, I don't know where they are. All these wonderful patterned ones where we've got lots of colour. Let me get them. So, there we go. These aren't all of them, but when you think of everything we've done, and we've done a lot. I mean, I've been doing this since last March, believe it or not. So we've done quite a lot. We've done like the one with the doors, brand new tomorrow. We've still got to do, actually, we've still got to do that one, haven't we? Where we've done the past. Oh, right. So we've done that. That's a nice one. You've got that one done. We've got all these inspired by other artists as well. But then we've got the nice other colourful ones we've done the last few days. So we've got tons and tons of them, all different, all with their own sort of techniques and their own ideas, and that's how it should be. So yes, oh, here they are. These are the latest ones. So I won't go through them all, but I'm going to go into my room now, and I will see you all later. Hopefully you can come and join me tomorrow, where we're going to get back to pattern. So we're going to really look at colour and pattern. But for the time being, thank you very much for your support. Try and get on to Craft World and Craft Stash and support me on there, because I know I don't charge for these, but all the links are put on there. I do get pennies from that, so that does help. But yeah, and then I want to get to 1,000 so I can do my new thing on YouTube. So thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate you. And don't forget the classes are on Etsy. Just sell. Sorry about that. Anyway, see you tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Is it? Yeah, 12 o'clock tomorrow. Just think it day. Noon. Noodle. No. Yeah, definitely tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye.